Dic nobis Maria.
Gaza is a place where it is a strip of 140 square miles, 7 miles wide, about 20 miles long. And it can be divided into northern and southern Gaza. It was a very well-known place in the ancient world around the Mediterranean Sea. If you look at the Mediterranean Sea, on the easternmost end of it, we have, on the northern part of Mediterranean Sea, we have Turkey, and then we have Syria, Lebanon, Israel. In Lebanon, we have a city well known in ancient times as Tyre and Sidon. Then you come into Israel, and then you come into Gaza. Gaza is where Asia and Africa met in antiquity. There would be traders coming. In fact, there are two very interesting stories in the Bible about Gaza. It's well recorded there were 5 cities in Gaza during the days of Samson the judge. So, you know the story of Delilah, and that also has got something to do with Gaza. And he was imprisoned in one of the cities, and he takes the city gates and comes out. That's about Samson. Then much later, a giant from Gaza, we know his name, is Goliath, and David kills him. And much later, we're talking about 700 years after David. It's a very famous general we all know, Alexander the Great. He comes from Greece, and detailed account of his besieging Gaza and what happened there is there in history. And he slaughters a lot of people because he's got some very valid reasons to, in his battle, according to him, he did it. And he was very kind to the people in Jerusalem. That's the other part. Now, during the Roman times, it's interesting, as Rome got Christianized, one of the things that happened was Christianity penetrated Gaza. And even now, there is a small community of Christians in Gaza who are orthodox in their faith. Much later, in 1,400 years back, Islam entered Gaza. Once Islam entered Gaza, the entire story of Gaza changed. And 300 years, somewhere from 1600 to 1917, Turkey, Ottoman Turkey, ruled Gaza. In 1917, there is this, in November of 1917, there is this famous British general known as General Allenby starts a campaign against Ottoman Turkey. It's the campaign in which Jerusalem becomes a British protectorate. It's very famous in history because of Lawrence of Arabia. Then, really, Gaza story is the story of the British ruling it as a protectorate for about 30 years. The Israelis throw the British out, and Egyptians come in, and they rule Gaza for about 2 decades, the 1950s and the 60s. In 1967, the Six-Day War, Israel conquers it back. Post that, till 2005, in some form, Israel ruled it. And then Israel gives it back to the Palestinian Authority, saying that make something out of it. 2 years later, there is a new group who won an election, and their name was Hamas. They, it's very interesting. They stood against Palestinian Authority. The West Bank was ruled by Palestinian Authority.